Hi, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. Good to be here today. And I'm having, once again, Michael Mordinson from Mordinson Agency. And today we're going to have another discussion. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much, Veronika. Good to be back.
Thank you. And my subscribers really enjoyed your perspectives and things. And I have been getting very positive emails. This business is challenging and there's a lot of contradictory information. So I really appreciate any genuine impact and insight on this. And today we're having a really fun topic. What I would say, we're gonna be talking about, why do Ukrainian ladies looking for foreign men? My first question is, what's wrong with our men, with Russian and Ukrainian men? What's your opinion on that?
Veronika, to be honest,
what's wrong with you, Michael?
I really don't think there is anything wrong with Ukrainian or Russian men. First of all, it's a huge generalization, and every time you generalize about anything, you have to accept a huge margin of just faulty information, because men are so different. And keep in mind, if your soulmate is Russian or Ukrainian, her father is a Russian or Ukrainian man. So having respect towards Ukrainian man or Russian man is also part of, winning her heart. Because believe me, if you disrespect a father of a Ukrainian woman or a Russian woman, your relationship may be very short-lived. Secondly, as I said, I really don't think there is anything wrong with the Ukrainian man, but it's not so much about the Ukrainian men, but about Ukrainian women. They have been too nice. Ukrainian women have made the life of Ukrainian guys absolutely amazing for many decades. And I'm not exaggerating. I speak from my heart. I know what I'm talking about, because Ukrainian woman, she will be educated, she will be working, and at the same time, she will rush home to make sure there is tasty homemade food at home and there is warm atmosphere, so that when her king, her knight, her beloved man comes back from his work, he feels like the king of the world. Which is great. But unfortunately, and I don't think it's a fault of Ukrainian men, because I think any kind of man would be this way if they were in the same circumstances. As we say in Russian, хорошему быстро привыкают. It means when there is something good, you get used to it very quickly. And it's impossible not to get used to this kind of, treatment from a woman. And unfortunately, and we have to admit it, for many Ukrainian guys, Ukrainian women are something that they take for granted 100%. This is the way it should be in their mind, and there is no other way. They don't know anything about the way it is with women in many Western countries. They can't even imagine what's it like. So they take Ukrainian women for granted. And if you ask me what's the problem and what causes, why there is our business, why our business exists, this is the problem. Ukrainian men treat Ukrainian women for granted.
Wow. I would not say that I'm surprised to hear that, because it definitely resonates with my thoughts as well. But here is that from the men's perspective, that's really powerful, because it means that the problem really does exist, or just I wouldn't even call it a problem. It's just a style of living. When you don't know anything else, like you just mentioned, you think that's normal. And I think some of the Ukrainian ladies, I think they probably just maybe want to be treated better, and they may be looking at their peers, they looking at the other ladies that maybe have this experience, and they say, my husband does not necessarily need me for serving purposes. He just wants to enjoy life with me. And also they may have had an example of an exhausted mother. All of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s, we know that especially in like Soviet Union times and post-USSR times, I feel like dad is a king, and he goes to work, and he comes home, and as much as I love and I respect and love men, but I always felt that women doing such a huge, they have so much such an incredible amount of responsibilities. And by the way, most of post-USSR women were also going to work, but their goal was go to work, go to the store on the way back home, run home real quick, and immediately start cooking the dinner, making sure the kids are going to work. So there is a lot of so much responsibilities, and somehow I feel that even though the woman was also equally working, or maybe slightly less, but she was also working, but she was a housewife at the same time, and it considered that men would be very feminine if the man would take care of some chores. Like, what do you think about that aspect, that if the man making dishes, oh my God, he was gonna have I've heard one man saying, "What, you want me to do dishes? You want me to have man boobs? you want me to like be feminized?" So it's somehow it felt that a lot of times just helping at the house chores, almost like it's below man's dignity. What do you think about this? And had it changed, do you think, from our childhood to nowadays?
I'm a Jewish man. I'm a religious guy. In our religion, in Jewish religion, it says that once you get married, your wife becomes closer to you than your parents. So it means if your wife needs you to do the dishes, you do the dishes. If your wife needs you to do something else, you do something else. But I'm talking about my personal perspective. You're talking about somebody who is the closest person to you. So why not to help if you can? I mean, if you're able to. And as we said in one of our previous videos, I mentioned, guys who know how to cook, and what an amazing card that is if you are in the game of finding a Ukrainian woman. It's super attractive for Ukrainian women if a guy knows how to cook. And the reason why is what just Veronika said. And I think it's also one of the weaknesses of the Ukrainian man, that unfortunately, unlike many Western countries, Ukrainian guys are very sheltered, oftentimes by their mothers, where for example, in the United States, in most cases, you see guys who are 18, who are 19, they're leaving home, they're going away to study in a college, they're going away and starting, working and so on. So they basically, on their own, since they're 18, 19, which is an amazing experience, which means that by the time you are, 35, 40, you are definitely a grown-up guy who knows how to do everything, because you have to do everything. And it's another thing that, many Ukrainian guys lack. Their mothers, Ukrainian women, are so caring. Their care towards their boys never ends.
Yes, it's very true. And I feel that they almost expect the wife would be also very motherly.
And Veronika, coming back to your original question, you asked me what is wrong with the Ukrainian guys, and why do Ukrainian women want to marry foreign men. I know that I'm going to, in a way, break a stereotype here, but I'm still going to say what I'm going to say. We have been in this business for many, many years, for 20 years now. Every month, we invest a lot of money into advertising. We are located in a city that has the population of 2 million people. It's not a little town, it's a 2 million city, and it's not a little place. And yet, if you go on our website, you will see that there aren't thousands of profiles of women. What I'm trying to say is that we have created a system where we actually care who we represent, and we want to represent women who actually want to find a man and don't mind leaving Ukraine, don't mind this man being from abroad, and do it, which is very important, without any incentive. We don't pay the ladies, they don't get compensated for anything. So when you hear that all Ukrainian women want to just meet a foreign man and move abroad, look at our website and just think, we do so much to attract genuine women, and you will see that there aren't thousands of women like that. Just think about it. And think deep and long. As I said, it may not be a comfortable truth, but this is a reality.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And I also think that there is a commitment issue as well. I feel that because we have so many beautiful women, a lot of men who are doing well financially or just normal, I feel that they're not really in a hurry to make a commitment. And our ladies in Ukraine, they really care of having been married first and have a child after that. And if they have self-respect, they don't want to be hanging in the air. And that's why I feel that a lot of ladies, they don't necessarily obsessed about getting married to a foreign man, but I think by adding that opportunity, they are increasing their chances to have, the more men you meet, the more quality men you meet. When you open, I think that also, what do you think about that?
That's exactly the kind of women we are looking for. We're not looking, girls who come to our agency, they don't say, I just need to move somewhere, because that's not the case. As I said, Kharkiv, maybe some of your followers, people who will be watching this video, have been to Kharkiv, and you are very welcome. If you have, you are very welcome to write in comments, what are your thoughts about my city, and how did you feel about, but I may not be objective, but I believe that Kharkiv is a very beautiful place. It's a nice place to live. And people here, they're not desperate to get out. And we don't want the women who are desperate to get out, because for a guy, for our client, I mean, what can be worse than knowing that somebody married you, somebody got into this union with you for the sake of just escaping a terrible situation. And I agree 100% with what you said. We Ukrainian guys, once again, we are coming back to this topic. It's not because Ukrainian guys are bad, but I believe that if you put any kind of group of guys for 20 years or 30 years in this kind of situation, they will be exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's not about Ukrainian, American, Swedish, Australian. It's about the opportunities that you get and the treatment that you get. It's mind-blowing, because you see young, beautiful Ukrainian girls who are in their early 20s. They truly want to have a family, because that's how they were brought up, and they know that this is the value. This is the value that is true, not the stuff that you find in Cosmopolitan magazine. I'm blessed to live in this culture. It's a beautiful culture. It's not ultra materialistic. It's about the family. But unfortunately, many guys they take it for granted, and they don't know, they think it's, that's the way it should be.
Yes, just going back to your first point, I do agree with that, and I feel that, so if we answer the question about, so why do Ukrainian women want or consider a foreigner, I think probably one of the insights would be is that they want to feel appreciated, and they, in most cases, they very well will be, because Western men are smitten by the femininity, the tenderness and gentleness is what it is, or gentleness by Ukrainian women and Slavic women in general, being gentle and being very feminine, and also having the nurturing, even that even though Western men usually don't require, okay, so you need to have first, breakfast, this lunch, have, they don't even have this in their mind. But then when they feel that somebody is taking care of them, I feel that both feel it's, in many ways, it's a win-win, because the lady does, she just does it this way. She maybe like to show affection in different ways, such as taking care of a man, just not that he can take care of himself, but it's just very sweet, and man feels that he won because he has a woman who is beautiful, feminine, educated, and she loves doing certain things for him. It doesn't mean that she's gonna do them 9 o'clock in the morning, then 1 p.m., then 6. It's very much it's just the concept of it, and I feel that men can feel really appreciated, and Ukrainian lady feels that her care and her femininity, she never even knew she had these qualities, because they were always taken for granted, and she feels appreciation, and she feels very special.
100%. It's a win-win, and it's one of the reasons why I love our work so much. We basically connect people who will appreciate each other while they are not so appreciated back home. I can tell you, it's another topic, single moms. We have in our agency, beautiful, absolutely stunning girls who have a child, they are university educated, many of them have great jobs. And in Ukraine, and I'm sorry to say this, but in Ukraine, a woman who has a child has a huge issues finding a man. Huge issues finding a man. She can be beautiful, stunning, intelligent. She has a child. It's like she's cursed or something. And it's terrible. It's terrible. And the reason, are the Ukrainian men just bad? No. It's just that there is so many women out there who don't have children, and a guy, at the end of the day, he thinks, why to make it more difficult for himself? It's I do not agree with the formula, that what's wrong with the Ukrainian man, because I honestly believe that it's a very difficult temptation to stand away. It's a situation in which they live, and not just them, but their male friends, their families, and if a single guy meets a girl and she has a child, his mother is going to, raise hell in most cases. Veronika, do you agree?
Yes, it's true. It's true. I totally agree. I'm not going to repeat what you said. I totally agree with that. And that's why I think that's another major reason why ladies who either were married, or maybe something happened and they no longer have their husband for whatever reason, I think it gives them a chance for happiness, because women are supposed to have children. Sometimes I feel it's so unfair. It's usually I feel like in Ukraine, only women have children. Men have nothing to do with children, and it's like they just magically appear. And I think it's really important that women have these children, because sometimes you meet somebody later in life, you know, maybe you are in your early 40s, maybe you have some health problems, maybe your husband, so, you know, sometimes men not have certain issues and it's not easy to have the child. So, and it's a women's program. It's more important than career for Ukrainian women. And sometimes they feel they don't just want to be a mother, they want to be a woman and a wife. And I really think that, I really hope that Ukraine will overcome that stigma, because life is unpredictable. Today you have the best marriage, tomorrow you realize that your husband is, you know, have some other interests, and you realize that you don't want to compromise, you just want to have somebody who loves you by some other interest. I mean, there's another issue, and I don't really, not really happy to talk about this. I do have a video about this. I think it's called Why Russian Men Cheat or something. I made it a couple of years ago, but it's not that it's not considered the biggest sin for a man in Ukraine. Somehow it's socially acceptable when men sometimes have other ladies, or he has even a family on the side. And for many women, you know, they realize they want more. They want to make sure that their husband comes home to them. Do you agree that we have the so-called you know, issue with faithfulness, and also with the man, and also with you know, being the only one?
Well, you know, it's a guy, he where this whole scene about infidelity comes from. He wants to feel like he's a hunter. He you know, he finds a new game, you know, he finds a new, he hunts her. And with the wife, you know, she knows everything about him. She knows every little detail about him, all his advantages and many disadvantages, because we are all imperfect. And so this new affair, it gives him that feeling. And unfortunately, for Ukrainian, not unfortunately, but for any normal woman who is family oriented, she wants to feel that her man is, how to explain this? Okay, let's put it this way. The fastest way to lose a Ukrainian woman is to make her feel that you are a passive guy. Because Ukrainian women are totally aware that life has its downs just like it has its ups. Because I was born in 1984, so I haven't lived a very long life. But in my rather short life, I have been alive when Chernobyl happened, then the perestroika, then the collapse of the Soviet Union, then the crazy 90s, then so many financial crises, 1998, 2004, 2008. So Ukrainian people and Ukrainian women are aware that, you know, bad things happen in life. And they are not the type of women, which is, I think it's one of the best qualities. They're not going to abandon her guy, her man, just because the times are tough, you know, and he lost his job. But it's very important for a man, and if you are a foreign man, I think it's something that you probably should keep in mind. If you show her that you have the active position in life, that you are ready to fight, that okay, things are bad, I'm going to try something else. I lost the job, I'm going to go there. I will try this, I will have the interview, I will do this, we'll do that. In the meantime, we will have a garden, we will raise some vegetables, we have this, we have that, somebody's gonna help. So I think this is one of the most beautiful things about Ukrainian culture and Ukrainian women in particular. They are there behind their men. And I have friends who, their parents in 1990s, it was a very tough time. And many guys, many fathers were, the collapse of the union was such, nobody could ever imagine that this is going to happen. And so many jobs were lost because the entire industries were gone. And so many families collapsed at that time, not because guys didn't have money, but because they didn't have the desire to fight. They just sat down and said,
They
okay,
froze.
exactly.
Yes, you know, you are so right about this. It's just that I feel that women are more, you know, have more flexibility. We are, you know, we are better with adjusting. We can be very successful working from home. Men need more structure and they need a plan. And sometimes when everything breaks, you just get in this frozen mode. And I actually have one of my I think I have one of my most popular videos. I think it's almost 170,000 views. I talk about main fears of Russian and Ukrainian women. And I was talking about the men on the couch, that women who, especially, you know, maybe like in their 20s, 30s, maybe early 40s, who kind of went or have the aftermath after certain events, I feel that they really want their man to be a supporter and being able to survive whatever circumstance. And that video really had so much response in just sharing from our perspective. I was sharing how scary it is for us when you don't know, as a man, when you don't know what to do, we stop being women and we becoming men. And Ukrainian women, even though they're feminine and they are very caring and all of this nurturing aura about them, but when the danger, something helps, I don't know what it is, but we transform into something non-stoppable because our instinct to make sure that our kids have food. Failure is not an option. We're gonna do anything and everything under the sun to make sure that kids are taken care of or we are okay. And I think that was a very heartbreaking time because a lot of husbands, they were not bad husbands, but they were so programmed or living a particular lifestyle. They were so depressed, and it's just how some men deal with the response to shock. So that Ukrainian woman would not just leave you, but if you keep playing, if you keep a couch life, she eventually would, just because she doesn't want to be the man.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know, I know quite a bit of the couples who met in the Mordinson Agency, who started family businesses after they met, because Ukrainian girls, when they come to America, they are not that, yes, they're very feminine. You look at Veronika, she dresses, I mean, look at her, she's like a model. Ukrainian women are very feminine, but at the same time, they're not the princesses who just want to, everything they want to do is a manicure, pedicure all day long. It's not true. They want to do something interesting. They want to do something, you know, they want to be helpful. So many girls who meet guys, and I know quite a few couples like that, they start businesses together. They either start something new or they, you know, go into the business that existed before. And it's one of the best testimonies to the Ukrainian women. You know, they are just amazing.
Yeah, there is a hardcore, they have the core, even though they may have a feminine allure. By the way, thank you for the compliment. I feel that it doesn't mean that they don't have character and drive, in that they are not passionate about doing something. There are different types of women. There are definitely a type that just, you know, would enjoy just to be about the family, but I feel that more probably, I would say more than that, we have women that want to be successful in several areas of life, and they their confidence and their drive is such a, they want to have that confidence in taking part in things. They're not lazy. They in fact, I'm going to be making video about why some Ukrainian women or Russian women get depressed in US. This happens when you cannot be of help, when you don't have identity, when for whatever reason you cannot express yourself. So you know, Ukrainian women, once you have a union, she may not even officially working for you, but even if you are the one working, she's working with you because she has you back. She takes care of you.
I think, I don't have the stats, but I think very few women would actually want to have a full-time job because they've had to here with the full-time job in Ukraine. And, I'm talking about 10-hour days, 5-6 days a week. And I don't think many girls want to do this once they move to the United States, but something part-time, or doing a business together, doing something creative, maybe doing something out of home. It sounds awesome because it allows, as you said, it allows her to channel her energy.
Yes, it's very true. So if you counting, if you kind of go overboard and you counting that your Ukrainian woman will come here and come to US and she'll be the horse, the driving power, you shouldn't be counting on that, because one of the reasons she's attracted to you is that she can be a woman and she can express herself, but yet she doesn't have to be what we call in US the breadwinner. She will support and work and create a team with you, and she will have your back, but she also appreciates that you can give her peace and you can give her security in knowing that tomorrow it's going to be okay. And I think that's probably another major reason why some ladies considering foreign men, because they just want to be relaxed and feel stability. It doesn't mean they want to be lazy. It doesn't mean they want to just not learn anything new, but they want to feel that tomorrow they will have their basics that they need, and so they can be relaxed in feminine energy, being just the way you like them, just for the reason you come to Ukraine, because you miss the authentic feeling of femininity. Because when women have to think about, oh my God, if I don't go to work tomorrow, the mortgage won't be paid, the car insurance won't be paid. When women get into that mode, they develop so much cortisol. Sorry, I'm just sharing from my background. They have so much cortisol. They don't they also have testosterone, women also have it, so it rises, and they almost forget to be women on a hormonal level too. So they just in the stress. If you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be a sugar daddy, but when you can just tell her, hey, I got you, she can be relaxed and she can blossom in a beautiful woman even more.
100%.
So that is another reason. I was just thinking that is another reason, because she just wants to be sure in her tomorrow, and so she can be about you and about the family, and being able. Go ahead.
I like this saying very much. Albert Einstein said that the true insanity is repeating the same experiment and expecting different results. Some girls, by the time they're in their mid-20s or late 20s, they have had their share of relationships, maybe even a marriage. They have repeated the same experiment over and over again, maybe a few times, and they got the same result. So this is exactly the kind of girls we are interested in, the women who in their mind came to the realization that, yeah, maybe I should give it a shot and try to meet somebody from abroad. But never think that if you are from abroad, it means that you have her heart already. Because if that is the case, if you feel this way, something is wrong. Because the fact that you are from America, from Canada, for many people around the world, it means so much, and they will try to do everything to make you take them there. And I'm not pointing any fingers, but believe me, a genuine, normal, authentic Ukrainian woman, just because you are from United States, it means, okay, you are from United States. Why should I marry? Like, what is there? Who are you? What's in your heart? It's not,
it's not enough to just, she's not marrying the country, she wants to marry you.
No, it's and it's I know that I'm kind of complicating things, but things are not things are complicated. You have to, this is life, and sometimes, you know, I have to explain to guys, this is a real person. When you talk to a girl through letters, you know, you have to pay attention to what she's saying, and sometimes it can be challenging because guys, and we allow this, of course, guys can be talking to 5, 6, 7, 10 girls at the same time, and women are amazing creatures. If you so much as miss some of the things she said in her letter, she will feel that you are not paying attention. And so if you want to do this, if you want to communicate with, you know, several women at the same time, you have to keep in mind every single one of those girls, she is probably talking just to you maybe, and all her attention is on you, and you have to be careful. Because you don't want to, those are real people, and winning her heart, you know, waving a US passport is definitely not enough to win a heart of a genuine Ukrainian girl.
I don't really have much to add. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. You have to realize that there is more to our existence than just certain needs, and she wants to get to know you even more, because there will be a big decision to make when she can stay in the comfort and eventually find somebody. I mean, a lot of people say that, oh, there is not enough of men in Ukraine, but I lived in Kiev, Ukraine, and I can assure you that we have a lot of men, and they are very active. I'm going to say this again. They're very active. They know how to pursue. So don't think that she is looking for you out of desperation. If she is a beautiful woman, she has options, but she just, she wants to find life, and she's just open. You know, she may go on the website, the next day she may meet somebody, and she will call, you know, Michael and say, you know what, please take me from the website. I found somebody. So it just means that they are the ladies are taking the step forward and opening up to a new world, which is full of opportunities. And if you focus, oh, you know, I only like brunettes, or I only like blondes, or I only like redheads, and men do sometimes, trust me, I work with men too, and they often get stuck on a particular style or particular kind of a girl. And I suggest, have you tried anything else? Why do you think that is your type if it's never worked out for you? This is a particular type that keeps breaking your heart. So it just means that the lady is open, and she wants to try, she wants to try another culture. She wants to see beyond the borders. Maybe, you know, love of her life is seeking for her just as she is seeking for him, and just a little bit further, not in her hometown.
Veronika, you know, it's another popular stereotype about the fact that there are more women in Ukraine than men, which is actually true. But I think it's also true globally. If you look at the stats, it's only true if you go up to 55 and then older. So it's just, I don't know who came up with this idea. It's true that there are lots of men, and they're active men, but what I have to say is, and that's also the place where we come in as the equation, majority of those men are not open to starting serious relationship anytime soon.
Exactly.
So it's easy to find a boyfriend. It's very difficult to find a husband. Very difficult to find a husband. And and concerning the things what you said, it reminded me of a very funny story. You said about a guy who is only looking for a brunette or a blonde, you know, being rather, you know, like
thin, or yeah.
Yes, so we had a client. I'm not going to say the names, of course. And when they met, he met this girl, and she said that I really like you. Everything is fine. You have great personality, but you have he had a mustache. He had a mustache, you know. And here in the eastern part of Ukraine, it's very uncommon for guys to wear mustaches. It's am I saying it right? Mustache or mustache? Is it mustache or mustache?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think it's most. Yeah. I think it's mustache. I'm putting an O in it.
Anyway, so you
Right.
got it, right? So she said it's something, like that bothers me a little bit, like and he said, you know what, I've been wearing this mustache for 25 years or something like that. I'm not gonna shave it off. And he told her, I have a child already. He's a grown-up boy, and I have no plans to have another child. And they spoke to each other, and they really liked each other. Everything was going very well, and they got engaged, they got married, and 5 years later, they have a baby girl, and he has no mustache. He has no mustache, and they have a little baby girl. So that's, I'm coming back to what I said before. Your wife should be the closest person. It's sent from heaven. So if she tells you you have to get rid of mustache, sooner or later you will get rid of it.
Makes you look younger. Side note.
Exactly. They are
Yes.
very beautiful couple. And by the way, they have a business together. They opened a restaurant. They're from Idaho.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Idaho.
Idaho. And they have a restaurant together. And his son works in this restaurant. So it's
yes.
business.
It's also not that big. When you truly love somebody, it's just you find a compromise. You realize, hey, if she really likes me, without the mustache, hell, I'm gonna shave it. And if she loves me that much that she wants to have fruit of our love, which is a child, when the woman really loves you, and if she is in a childbearing age, it's just a natural desire. It's not that only she wants to be a mom, but it's also she honors you. She honors you because she wants to have the child from you. So it's a little copy of you and her together. And I feel, and I've noticed that too, that sometimes ladies, they are married to the man, and for like 8 or 9 years, and she wants to have a child, but the relationship is not so good, and the doctor says, you're not really capable, and they're trying, but everything is not working out so well. And then next year, they separate. Next year too, she gets with a man, and she's pregnant immediately because maybe this man was a better match. And there are certain things that are higher than our consciousness. Yes, because I have a lot of girlfriends or girls that I know, and I've heard these stories. So it's a destiny, and sometimes you just don't want to deny the beautiful gift that coming toward you. So don't be so judgmental. We all do this, but hey, and when it comes to mustache, I approve. Shave that thing. Because it makes you more kissable, and it just makes you more approachable, because women have gentle skin. So that's we were going to talk just about one thing, but I so much appreciate Michael with his experiences, working with men and with women, with men and with women, that the conversation just unfolded in so much more than we promised in the title. What's wrong with Russian men, or why do Ukrainian women want foreign men? But I really hope that it gave you a great insight and reassurance. And thank you so much, Michael, for joining, once again. And
thank you for
yes, there anything you would like to wish to the guys, or say in the end, maybe encourage them again?
Well, every situation that happens in life should be a teacher to us, and there should be lessons that we learn. When this whole coronavirus COVID-19 thing just started to unfold back in March, the first thing that I started asking myself, like consciously, I asked my friends, I asked myself, what should we learn? What should we understand? It's a lesson. It's a huge lesson. It's a global lesson. And now I can see clearly, 100% I understand what was the lesson. We didn't work for 2 months, for 3 months. We didn't go to work. Did the world end? It didn't end. But what we felt very acutely, very clearly, that if we didn't have families, this time would feel like forever. While if you do have a family, this 3 months of not working was like a long, 3 months long vacation. You spend your time with your wife, you spend time with your children, you hang around. So what's really important? Something
Yes.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. You can be, you know, even at the highest career and the best career in your life, most likely you'll be, people will miss you, but you'll be replaced the next day. But there is never replacement for you in the family. That is really beautiful. I would also say that it's also taught us to not put things away. A lot of men in US, if they're very hardworking, they you know, they managing a lot of things, having responsibilities, and sometimes they have a dream about having a beautiful woman in their life, but they just kind of, it's almost like a drug. They started working even more to not have time to think about these things. And I think this time kind of stop us to rethink what's important, just like Michael mentioned, but also to realize that opportunity is here, but it doesn't mean it's here tomorrow. You know, we always think, oh, I'll go next year, I'll go, you know, I'll go in 2022, you know, I have this project going on, but it just really shakes you. I mean, maybe it is not that important, but it's also showed you that not only your financial opportunities matters, that you buy a ticket and you are off somewhere, but it's also tomorrow is not promised, and you may have all the resources, but you may not have a chance. So it's kind of taught me to jump. You know how sometimes you have opportunity and you think, well, but you know, I really can do that. It's just that just gives me this big push into keeping the mentality of when you have opportunity, take it.
Of course, you know, as they say, if you want to know the value of a minute, ask somebody who was late for the train. Just before the quarantine began, we had 2 girls who moved to the United States. They had their interviews in the embassy and then they moved. So one left like maybe 15 days before the travel ban, and the other one was literally like 8-7 days. So guys, just think about it. If 1 year ago, that man waited for another 2 weeks before he started this process, here for another 3-4 months at least, and now who knows when the flights are going to resume, because yes, it's you can come to Ukraine, but you have to find a flight. Just think about it.
Right. Don't postpone on what matters. You know, we all need to make choices. We can take everything number one, but it's a good time to look at what really matters to you and put that first. So I totally agree with that. And before we start another conversation, which I really enjoy, but we're gonna leave you guys with this. You know, it was very insightful. I hope you watch it several times, take notes. Please put some good comments so we know what's your favorite takeaways from the video. I'll post a link to Michael's channel, to his website. If you are looking for the opportunity to meet somebody, you will find this information and you can contact Michael directly, and also you can connect with me. I will post the information. Many of you know it, but I have new people. So thank you so much, Michael.
Veronika, thank you so much once again for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I hope that everybody got something useful from the video, and if we see a good response, we may consider recording some more. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful summer.
Bye-bye.